Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of The Travel Programme, the programme about everything to do with travelling and holidays. Here in the studio with me, as always, is Christine O'Teng, our travel expert.
Hello, Lucy.
Well, summer's approaching and the summer holidays are too, so have you got any suggestions for the holidays?
Well, let's see. Are you bored with your usual holiday? Are you tired of beaches or trips to the mountains? Would you like to say no to museums, city tours and shopping? Well, why don't you try something new and exciting?
What exactly do you have in mind?
How about a holiday hunting for ghosts in a castle in Great Britain?
Hunting for ghosts in a castle. That's certainly a change from lying on a beach. It sounds exciting.
It is exciting. Something really different. Just right if you love adventure.
But what do you have to do? Do you spend all the time looking for ghosts?
No, not all the time. In some ways, it's like a normal holiday. In the morning, you have a traditional English breakfast, then you go for a walk or visit a local town. In other words, you do the things you always do when you visit a foreign country. But the fun starts in the evening. You have dinner, and then the ghost hunting starts. With the help of one or two ghost experts, you search through the haunted castle until late at night.
Oh, it sounds frightening.
It is frightening. There are strange sounds, doors and windows open and close by themselves. Yes, it's really frightening, but exciting too. Tell me, Lucy, do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, I do, but I'm not very brave. I don't think I'd like to visit places like that, especially not at night. Are there any haunted castles in Great Britain?
Oh, yes, there are, especially in Scotland. Many of the castles in Scotland have got ghosts. There are some fascinating ghost stories. There are lots of books about haunted castles. Why not read one before visiting Scotland?
I see. A holiday spent looking for ghosts. A night in a haunted castle would certainly be a memorable experience.
It certainly would. And if you want to see even more ghosts before you return home, try a ghost walk. In London, visit places in London famous for strange and unusual happenings.
Christine, this is definitely an interesting idea for a holiday with a difference. Well, if you're curious about ghosts and you love adventure, this could be just the holiday for you. Thanks, Christine, for this unusual holiday idea.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
And goodbye to all travellers. See you again soon. Do you believe in ghosts? To believe in ghosts means you think that ghosts exist. If you do, then you say, I believe in ghosts. We say that a castle is haunted when it has a ghost or more than one. We say it's a haunted castle. Now, there are lots of different kinds of holidays, and the holiday Christine just told us about is an adventure holiday. Looking for ghosts in a castle is an adventure. But personally, I prefer beach holidays. They are definitely more relaxing. Or perhaps you prefer city holidays. A city holiday is when you visit a city. So let's look at some of the things you can do when you have a beach holiday. You lie on the beach in the sun and relax. This is called sunbathing. You go for a walk on the beach or go for a swim in the sea. Notice the expression go for. You can visit a local town. Local means that it's near the place where you are. What about when you have a city holiday? You can go on a city tour. A bus takes you on a tour round the tourist sites of the city. A tourist site is something that tourists want to see. For example, the Colosseum in Rome or Buckingham Palace in London. You can go for a walk around the city and visit the tourist sites. We call this sightseeing, and we say, go sightseeing. Just one last thing. Remember, there is a difference between travel and trip. To travel is a verb. When you go on holiday to a different city or country, you travel. A trip is a noun, and it's like a short holiday. You say, go on a trip. This means to go somewhere for a short time. For example, go on a trip to Scotland. Goodbye for now, and see you next time.
Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of Let's Talk, the Saturday debate with our commentators, Tom and Marie.
Good evening, Eric.
Good evening.
Well, this evening, let's talk about the differences between the generations. What do you think about this issue, Tom?
I think that over the last 50 years, lifestyles have changed a great deal. There's been a lot of progress. New technologies have helped here. Think about healthcare. It's very good today. Television and internet tell people about the world and what's happening.
So, lots of progress. Do you think life is easy today?
Yes, I think it is. There are lots of opportunities for everyone. Let's take travel as an example. In the past, it was impossible to travel a lot. Today, we can fly to lots of cities in Europe, and it's very cheap.
I'm sorry, I don't agree with you, Tom. I mean, it's true that lots of things are easy now, but there are also lots of things to worry about, and there's lots of stress. In the past, life was simple. It was all about the family and family values.
Do you think that people today are confused about how to live life?
That's exactly what I mean. Today, people marry when they're 30 or 35. When my grandmother was young, it was usual to marry young and start a family.
Well, things are different today. I mean, women work now. 50 years ago, only a minority of women worked. I think this is very important for female emancipation.
I agree with you, Eric. Today, women are fulfilled. They play an important role in society.
Yes, but it's not easy for women. They have less time for the family, the children and the housekeeping.
I'm not sure that my grandmother would agree. Life was hard for her. There weren't any washing machines, or dishwashers, or vacuum cleaners. She was the washing machine, the dishwasher, and the vacuum cleaner. And after all that work, there was nothing to do. She stayed at home all the time. Today, people go out 3 or 4 times a week to the pub, to the cinema, or to the disco. My grandparents were always at home.
Well, life is definitely different now. According to Tom, life was hard in the past. Now everything is easy. Marie doesn't agree. She thinks that life today is difficult and that people have lots of cares, worries, and stress. And what do you think? Well, it's time to say goodbye to our commentators.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And we'll see you again soon on the next edition of Let's Talk. Okay, first of all, let's have a look at the expressions we use to discuss our different ideas and opinions. What do you think about this idea? This is a good way to ask someone's opinion, or simply, what do you think? How about when you don't agree with someone's opinion? You can say, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. This is a polite way to say, I don't agree. If you do agree with someone, then you say, I agree with you. When we give our opinions, we usually start with, I think, or I don't think. The use of that after think is optional. So we can say, I think it is important, or I think that it is important. Another useful expression is, I mean, and when we use it to explain our ideas better. Let me give you an example. Things are different today. I mean, women work now. So I say things are different, and then with I mean, I explain how they are different. What about the vocabulary we use to talk about the things that have changed in the last 50 years? Let's take healthcare. It's the protection a country gives to its people like doctors, hospitals, and medicines. These are all parts of healthcare. Another important thing is female emancipation, the freedom of rights that women have. And some things that we have in our houses now, which make our lives easier, are the washing machine. This is the machine that washes our clothes. The dishwasher, the machine that cleans the dishes, plates, and glasses. And the vacuum cleaner, the machine that cleans the floor. Before I say goodbye, I just want to look at a little word that we use a lot. It's lot. And we use it to express quantity. We can say a lot or lots of, and it means a big amount. We use it with verbs. We say a lot, and it comes after the verb. For example, today people travel a lot. And when we use it with nouns, we usually say lots of, and it comes before the noun. For example, there's lots of stress today. Well, that's all from me. See you soon for another edition of Let's Talk.